So just wrapped up a 1-hour session with Coach Lionel, doing some boxing today. Coach Lionel and I were actually going to go to the beach today, get a little sun, check out the waves. I want to thank Coach Lionel for saying, hey, let's get in and train today instead of going to the beach. It was a great decision. Coach.
Yes, we decided to do train today and got no time for all this partying and Babylonian bimbos out there. But we came in, hit the gym, we did some boxing. I'm going to be here all day. I pretty much work every day. You got to work to, feed yourself and make the world go around, unfortunately. No one cares about you but the money. No one cares about anything in this world but money. But fortunately, there's good people like me, like my buddy here, Jeremiah. We're out here to make each other better. Iron sharpens iron, as they say. But with that being said, I also want to talk about my Christian-based podcast. It's called The Sabbath at Midnight. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also YouTube. So you can find me on all those different platforms. And it's called, again, The Sabbath at Midnight. It's just how it is, the Sabbath, like the Saturday from the Hebrew book, the Sabbath at midnight. And there's only one out there, so you can't get it confused. And the logo is a very 80s-looking neon crucifix with the neon pink, neon green Sabbath at midnight. And you can check the logo out right here. And on the podcast, just so I don't waste your guys' time, we talk about obviously Christian stuff, but we get into the cool things like the giants, which are the Nephilim, the fallen angels. We get into the history of those
aliens,
weird creatures, where aliens come from, UFOs, angelic encounter. We have people on there. We have doctors, psychiatrists. We got authors on my show. We have specialists, not just a bunch of random people that have their own random opinion. We got actual professionals on the show. We even got a exorcists on the show, like people performing exorcisms. I mean, the whole 9 yards. So if you want to check it out, one more time, Sabbath at Midnight, find it on Spotify. There you go.
I highly recommend the channel. I've listened to many, many shows from Coach Lionel. Incredible interviewer. This guy has incredible people, like you said, doctors, psychotherapists. You're going to have priests who have done exorcisms, people who wrote incredible books, had crazy encounters. If you want to know and hear about the supernatural, which I think is extremely important. I know we talk about what's happening socially, we talk about what's happening financially, but it's all tied into spiritual warfare. Your churches have abandoned you for the most part. They've checked out. They're corporate now. They're telling you nothing but good news. They're not telling you the reality and what's to come. We are now in spiritual warfare. And this is some great information that Lionel here, Coach Lionel, with special guests, and just listen to what Coach Lionel has with his beliefs, with what's happening in the supernatural world. We are in spiritual warfare. If you're paying attention to what's happening in the world right now, the demonic people walking this earth doing horrendous things to people, people at the very, very top who are just decimating the middle class financially, the wars that are coming, spiritual warfare, ladies and gentlemen. This is the way you arm yourself, you educate yourself. So check out Lionel's channel. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. You got to be, we're here boxing. I'm here just trying to get better with jiu-jitsu and boxing, but I also know that I have to get this better, my soul and my head. You got to have the warrior mindset, and you got to have the soul ready for war, because you're going to be dealing with some very, very dark things in this world, and they're happening right now. It's going to get really, really bad. So arm yourself with God. Check this stuff out. Educate yourself. God bless. An absolutely beautiful Memorial Day today. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And by the way, if you went to the beach today, more power to you. I hope you're having fun. Have some balance in your life. Spend it with family, friends. It's very important to have balance in our lives. I had some time this morning. Coach Lionel had some time, so we just wanted to knock some things out at the gym, get some work done. The rest of the day I'll be spending with family. So important to have balance in our life. So important to be spending time with family. But again, I had some time this morning to work on some skills, and that's what I wanted to do. So I'm not criticizing or judging anybody who went to the beach or spending time with your family. I had some time. I took advantage of it. A few articles I do want to share today, as I'm sitting here this afternoon pondering on a few things on this Memorial Day, and I'm thinking about, we give all respect to the veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And my concern is there's going to be more people losing their lives, because wars are popping up all over the globe. We're seeing things escalate again in the Middle East. Things have not diffused in Eastern Europe. The talk of Taiwan now, China getting very, very aggressive. We're going to see more things. And then on top of that, who knows what's going to happen right here on U.S. soil, because we're being warned almost daily now by agencies that something bad is around the corner here. So I'm just sitting here this afternoon thinking about, how things can really begin to accelerate out of control globally with all of these wars. And so, we've got to be preparing for things to happen because they're happening right now. There's an article today I'll share with you from All News Pipeline. It's titled, "The Crash Will Destroy More Than One Generation of Americans as Starvation Becomes the New Way of Life for Millions of People." And we talked about this yesterday. Fast food, now a luxury. 11 million children live in poverty in this country. Thousands of stores have closed. The final countdown of the U.S. economy has begun, and most Americans don't even realize what is happening, even though it's happening right before their very eyes. These people who will write me and say, when's the collapse going to happen? Very few people write that now because most people are witnessing it happening. They're using their own two eyes and ears. They can see, they can hear what's happening. 40% of this country is living in poverty or considered working poor. So much for being the world superpower, right, ladies and gentlemen? You are not just going to feel this collapse, you're going to see it. And a lot of people aren't feeling it right now, but they're beginning to see it. They're driving by the vacant stores. Yesterday's video, if you didn't see it, please check it out. I'm at our local 99-cent store. It closed last month, 20,000 square feet right there, right off of a main road, right off of Interstate 10, closed. You are watching institutions crumble right before your very eyes. And yet there are people, some of these people who still don't realize what is happening. Financial institutions, educational institutions, military institutions, political institutions, even churches are crumbling right before your very eyes. And I thank God every day that He woke me up so I can see these things, because I can take this as a warning to continue to prepare. Many people haven't even begun to prepare. Millions cannot prepare now because they're absolutely broke. These people who would ask me, when's the collapse going to happen? And this is going back 2 years ago. And I would say it's happening right now. It's happening right in front of you. The collapse is in progress right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's been in progress for years. And now some people are beginning to realize it because maybe they lost a job. They have no money left in their retirements. Their checking accounts are empty. They're going to the grocery store and they're getting wiped out. They're fighting to stay in the middle class, and they're going broker and broker in order to do it. You are witnessing the collapse right now. The collapse is in progress right now. You could go back to the Romans, you could go back to the Greeks, and back then I'm sure that a majority of people didn't see what was coming. They did not see their demise. And they, I'm sure, thought that it would be absolutely impossible for their empires to crumble. Just like people today in America who believe it's absolutely impossible for anything to knock the US dollar off the throne, that the United States of America could crumble. We're the biggest economy, the most powerful military, etc., etc. You can keep believing that because it's not true anymore. It is not true. Take a look at Russia and China, who have now befriended one another, who are basically acting as one. The financial systems are changing. Money is changing. You're going to see, in my opinion, gold play a huge role in the new financial system that is coming. We can sit here and talk about CBDCs all day, but why are all the central banks stockpiling so much gold? How come Russia and China are stockpiling so much gold? Everything that's happening right now should be a warning to you with the wars that have begun, the wars that are coming, what's happening in the financial realm, what's happening in the spiritual realm. You need to get your house in order. You should be in the best possible physical shape of your life. You should be able to know how to defend yourself with your body, with the proper tools and gear. You should be getting in a warrior mindset. You should be getting your spirit extremely prepared for what is coming, and get your finances in order. This is not a one-dimensional game. This is a multi-dimensional game now. Stop glazing over world events and start looking at reality, what's happening in your own world right now. You're going to find out what people around you are all about. And this is, to me, is a time where we're really trying to see, the people at your table, the friends around you. What are they made of? What do they bring to the table? Are they going to be there to back you up when the lights go out, when the power's down, the grid's down, and things begin to get chaotic? Are the people around you going to back you up? That is the question. And you need to start thinning out the friends who are not training, the friends who are not prepared, the friends who will not take your back, fight for you, back you up, the friends who believe that what you're saying is not true, the friends that are completely broke, unprepared, have no food put away, no training, no skill sets. These people are going to eat your protein, they're going to drink all your water, they're going to be a huge liability for you. So it's probably better to thin the herd out now and surround yourself with like-minded people who are training, who are learning the skills to survive, and who are in the same mindset that you are. This is the proving grounds right now. This is the time to find out who your friends are, because you're going to find out when things get bad real quick who your friends are. And I think this is probably the time to surround yourself with the right people right now, not find out later. So when you need these people and they're running and they don't have your back, it's going to put you in a huge liability. Most people right now are probably extremely out of shape. They're soft mentally, physically. These are not the people that you want around you. These are not the people making sacrifices right now. They're not putting themselves in uncomfortable positions and learning how to deal with uncomfortable positions. These are not the people you want to be surrounding yourselves with. If they're uncomfortable now, if they can't make the sacrifices now, what are these people going to do when it gets bad? These are things that you have to be asking yourself, things that you got to be sitting down at the dinner table talking to your family about. It is so important now to have the right people around you. Maybe you have a great church. That's one in a million. This is going to be a very, very difficult time, but there is strength in numbers. There's no, lone wolf here. You got to have some numbers, but you got to have quality over quantity, in my opinion. Because right now, what you sow, you're going to reap, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're sitting on the couch all day, if you believe everything is going to be okay, if you believe you shouldn't be training, getting in shape, adding skills, working a side hustle, getting the debts paid off, walking close to God, you're going to reap what you sow. And unfortunately, people are going to reap a nightmare. They're going to reap a nightmare. The collapse has begun. Get your house in order. I cannot stress it anymore. I watch other videos when I have time of people talking about, the economy, it's getting bad, and, the banks are bad, and, this and that is bad, and, we're going to see foreclosures, the housing market is bad. We talk about this every day, right? But one thing that is even more important than all of this, and why, if you really really believe that this is going to get really bad, like I'm talking about, like many of you are talking about, if you really believe in this, you should be walking the walk, number one, and preparing. But you better fear God, because you're only here for a short period of time. What happens after this? This is a test. And we're gonna see some crazy stuff going on. It's going to be probably very, very supernatural. You're going to see some very, very dark things happen globally, without a doubt. It's already happening. Look at the type of crime that is being committed in America. The demons that are running loose in America. Just these absolute demonic type crimes that we're seeing, that we never even, 20, 30 years ago, you never even heard of things like this. But people have just really gone to the dark side. Are you right with God? Do you know where you're going after this? If you really believe what's coming, then you believe that this is now, we're entering spiritual warfare. This is more than just an economic collapse. I think 99% of people watching this video, you don't even have to be religious, but you begin to realize, like, this stuff's happening on purpose. There's some very, very dark, disturbed people in power across the globe that are doing some very, very evil things. And this is not by accident. This is now spiritual warfare. And if you really believe how this is all going down, then you know that there's good, there's evil, there's God, there's a devil. And you better know where you're going after this, because this is going to go really, really fast. Do you know where you're going after this? We're being tested right now, in my opinion. We're being tested. None of this happens unless God lets it happen. He's going to let it happen. I love this country. I've said that a million times, but this country has turned its back on God. We've done some really bad things. We have put hundreds of military bases all over the world. We started wars all over the world. We took a lot of human life all over the world. We weaponized the US dollar. Our corporations have literally taken over. I still love this country. I don't like how it's being run, and I don't like what it's doing. And we're gonna be, I think we're going to be judged for this. I really, really do. And this country is no doubt turning its back on God, and it is going to be judged. But I'm not going to sit here and preach a sermon. I'm not a pastor, but I'm just letting you know my thoughts here, and I'm going over some of these articles, and I'm going to shift into this other article from The Hedge. Inflation creates an illusion of wealth. Peter Schiff blasts the president's bragging about raising taxes. Contrary to progressive belief, inflation is not a result of capitalism, Peter says. Everything is more expensive because the government debasement of our money. Keep printing money, more QE, keep those interest rates as low as possible, keep putting them back to zero. That's why we have inflation. It's not an accident. It's not a natural byproduct of capitalism. Capitalism does the opposite. He says the CPI from 1800 to 1900 lost 50% of its value prices, fell for 100 years. CPI fell for 100 years. Inflation down 100 years. Now in the following 100 years, prices have skyrocketed, and that's because of the government and, of course, this not capitalism, but the crony capitalism that has replaced it. That's what is happening. Now, shifting gears here a little bit, really, really sad one here. General Hospital actor Johnny Wachter fatally loses his life while shielding a female co-worker in Los Angeles. One really quick thing here. If you hate America now, wait till you lose America. Wait till you see how bad it's going to get. If you think America's bad right now and you hate it so much, you're going to really hate it very, very soon when we lose it. Wagner, 37, was walking with the unidentified friend to his own car when he came across the three thieves who had jacked up his car at around 3:25 a.m. Saturday. Now, I believe he's actually working at a bar as a bartender also, if I'm correct. And I think this was maybe a coworker. He thought that his truck was being towed. So he said something to the three guys, "Hey, are you towing my car?" This is when they turned around, pointed a weapon at him. He stepped in front of this woman to shield her, and they took his life. I don't know this person. I don't watch General Hospital, never have. 37 years old, Los Angeles, and he had to shield this woman, and he lost his life because they were stealing his catalytic converter off of his truck. So if you think it's bad now, I mean, they will take your life for a catalytic converter. People will take your life because you look at them funny or say something. This is just absolutely a travesty. A young man, Los Angeles, with a woman, not looking for no trouble. She said he didn't try anything. He didn't try to fight them, nothing. He just asked them what they were doing. Thought he was being towed. Lost his life. Lost his life. You got to be really careful out there. This is evil. This is pure evil right here. Somebody would do this to this man. Pure evil. And they probably would have done it to this woman too. So they got away. Who knows if they'll ever find them. It's another reminder that you better be ready. You better be prepared. You better be really, really careful when you're out there, especially if you're out there at 3 a.m. In Los Angeles on the streets of LA. Very, very dangerous. This thing this thing is absolutely spinning out of control. So you got to prepare, ladies and gentlemen. And the only way I know how to do it is physically getting to the gym, boxing, jiu-jitsu, getting in shape, putting more food and water away, staying on track with everything. Don't get complacent. Get all your debts paid off. Stack as much cash and metals as you can right now. Again, just be walking extremely close to God. be praying to God for direction. If people are making these videos and they believe that things are going to get this bad, how can you not see the spiritual warfare that is being played out right before your very eyes? I mean, this thing is getting really, really dark. Really, really dark. And I'm not afraid to admit it. My eyes are open, and I hope yours are too. If they haven't, I pray to God that your eyes do open and you start beginning to see what's happening and how bad this is right now. But we're going to look back and look at these times as normal times. What's coming is going to be out of this world, pretty much. I mean, it's going to get, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe all of a sudden, in a few months, everything's going to be great, and we'll never look back, and the economy will be booming, and everything's going to be fine. I don't think so. And I think if you're listening to your gut, your heart, your soul, you know that something is very, very wrong here. This train is off the rails, and this thing is going to continue to get more and more severe. And you better be preparing for very, very severe times, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave it there today. Please comment down below. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know any of your thoughts on anything you want to talk about, anything you want to let us know. I really appreciate all the comments. Do you think this is spiritual warfare? Or do you think things are going to improve? Or do you think it's going to get much worse as far as what's happening to the economy and wars and all that? There's so much going on. I don't want to sit here and rant all day. It's Memorial Day. Have a great time. Spend it with your family and friends. We're all blessed. But we got to be really, really prepared because you don't know what tomorrow brings. Stay safe.
Good job, bro.